All right, so part two. Let's go into this a little bit deeper. So, what happened was this lady apparently posted something about a politician in Florida. I'm not particularly familiar with who he is. I don't know the politicians in Florida. I live in Pennsylvania. And to be honest, I don't even really know most of the politicians here anymore. I There's an important caveat to all this. I It's not that I don't pay attention to politics. It's just that I don't have the time for politics right now. I very much believe that you may not fuck with politics, but politics will fuck with you. I always pay attention to those things when I can, but for the past 3 years, really, I've just been on straight up survival mode. So who's in office doesn't really matter because they're all fucking me anyways, right? So the important thing is that you can't be silent when you see gross limitations on our civil rights, in particular the First and Second Amendment, right? Um, those are the two rights that all of our other rights stem from, which is why I inherently believe that the Democratic Party is just inherently anti American, even more so. I believe the Republican Party is anti American too, but I believe the Democratic Party is inherently anti democratic because one of their primary positions is to infringe upon a right where it literally says in the Constitution shall not be infringed, or the Bill of Rights, not which isn't technically part of the Constitution, but splitting hairs. But the weirdos in the comments are going to be there. So the important thing is though, uh, don't be silent. Don't allow them to disarm you. I know a lot of people like to claim, oh, well, when they show up and ask for my guns, I'm just going to claim that I lost them all in a boating accident. No, you won't. You're probably a coward that's just going to bend over and take it up the ass from the long dick of the law because that's convenient. Some part of the rationalization, the fear that controls your mind is going to cause you to acquiesce because you're either going to say to yourself, motivated purely by fear, that you have too much to lose, too much to risk, and it's not worth risking everything just to hold on to a couple guns. Or you're going to tell yourself that, okay, um, I can trust this administration. It's okay to trade a little bit of my liberty because they're going to provide security. That's how it always happens. Like literally how it always happens over and over and over and over again throughout history. The One of the most important steps to forming an authoritarian regime is to disarm the populace. The other really important step is to have widespread censorship. I don't want thought police showing up at my door and criticizing me and trying to scare me into submission because I post a tweet or a Facebook post or something criticizing a politician. the primary reason for free speech in the first place isn't so that you can talk about the weather or which Harry Potter novel was the best. It's so that you can criticize our leaders and keep them accountable. Still not getting any sleep. Don't know why. It just makes talking hard. I can't sleep through the night anymore for some damn reason. But it's really, really important that you practice your right to free speech and you defend other people's right to free speech, even if you don't agree with them. Because if you don't, two things are going to happen. One, the same method they used to silence that person you disagree with, they're going to use to silence you eventually. And if you allow it, then they're just going to keep doing it. The other thing that's going to happen is the people that you allowed to be silenced, they won't stand up for you when they come for you. In fact, those people will do exactly the opposite and cheer them and say, "Ha ha, serves you right. They silenced me. Now it's your turn to get silenced." And then no one's going to have a voice anymore. So, regardless of whether you agree with someone politically or philosophically or morally, it is very, very important. It is the most supremely important thing. That's why it's the First Amendment to make sure that you speak up and say, this is not okay. We can't have government officials trying to threaten people into silence just because they criticize a politician. It is also supremely important that you arm yourself and make sure that you're properly trained, because the whole reason why they are the First and Second Amendments is that the freedom of speech and right to gather and right to participate, right right to petition the government, right to freedom of religion, and the other one, freedom of the press, were the most important things for maintaining a healthy democracy. And the second most important thing is ensuring that the government can't enforce tyrannical power through force of arms. That's why these are the First and Second Amendments. Without the First and Second Amendments, none of the other amendments or the Constitution matter at all, because they can take them away whenever they want and there's nothing you can say or do about them, right? So that's all I really have to say today. It's a pretty short and sweet one. I'm tired and I need to do more house renovations and I need to clean. So I don't have a lot of energy today. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop though. I'm going to keep pushing through, and hopefully by the end of 2026, I've learned to sleep through the night again. Delete Windows, de Google yourself. I love all of you, and God bless America. Cheers.